Agent Mulder. I'm Dana Scully.
Here we have the very first episode of The X-Files. There's no denying the influence and effect that this show had on TV shows in general, so I won't use a lot of time for that in this review. If you want a more general review of the first season, then look out for my upcoming review of the entire first season after I've done an individual review for each episode. Now in this pilot we are introduced to the X-Files, a one-man division of the FBI that only focus on paranormal investigations. The X-Files are run by Fox Mulder, and the FBI has grown concerned about Mulder's obsession with his cases and the effect his work is having on the Bureau. At least that's their official reason for disliking the X-Files and Mulder. The FBI brings in a young, promising agent named Dana Scully to work with Mulder. Scully is a scientist with no beliefs in the paranormal, so the FBI are sure that she will be able to use science to debunk the work of Fox Mulder.
The reason you're here, Agent Scully, is we want you to assist Mulder on these X-Files. You will write field reports on your activities, along with your observations on the validity of the work.
Am I to understand that you want me to debunk the X-Files project, sir?
Agent Scully, we trust you'll make the proper scientific analysis.
So Mulder and Scully meets for the first time, and their very first case gets them out of a small town called Bellefleur, Oregon, to investigate the death that Mulder thinks has extraterrestrial activities attached to it. Now, considering that this is the pilot of the show, it is impressive to see how many things they got right on the very first try. David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson both nail it as the characters of Fox Mulder and Dana Scully. Even though these two characters are quite different from each other, they get a good vibe and friendship instantly. The casting for these two characters was just perfect, and it's now crazy to think that the studio wasn't all that into the casting of Gillian Anderson at first. What's also interesting is how writer Chris Carter and director Robert Mandel made sure that we see the story from the eyes of Scully, as both her character and we as viewers are seeing this amazing stuff unfold for the very first time. And if we take our eyes away from Mulder and Scully for a second, we also get a glimpse of the cigarette smoking man, as he will be known as later in the series, doing his little devious evil things. You do get a sense already in this episode that there is something important with this guy, and it's very fun to see stuff like this being introduced right from the very start. The case they work on here is what would be considered later to be a typical alien abduction case. But since this is the very first episode, everything feels so fresh and interesting. And my god, the mood of these early episodes are so chilling and spooky. For me as a young kid, this was like getting a new horror movie each week, with the two main characters that I loved right away, staying on for all these crazy and creepy adventures. So is there anything negative to say about the pilot? Well, the stuff they do here is done tighter and a bit better in later episodes. But still though, the pilot of the X-Files is awesome and it deserves a solid 4 out of 5 X's.